Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 93 of my modded Factorio playthrough. Enjoy. Another important aspect of why we're walling off while we can is because we're about to get outpaced by the biter evolution. So right now, even with our weapon upgrades, we can only just barely keep up with them. You know, if it's a base like that, if it's a really big base like that one we kind of check the outskirts of, we won't have enough firepower, so in a little bit more biter evolution, we're just not going to be able to fight the biters anymore. And there's nothing we can do about it until we start creating our new resources so we can make the military science packs. And, whoa, don't get too close, don't get too close. And the new weapons. So, by walling off the base, we avoid having to deal with clearing out biter nests. Biters, the actual biters, are a lot weaker than their nests. Like, it doesn't take that much to kill the biter attacks. Turrets can handle most of that until fairly late game. But it's the nest we can't do anything about. So what happens if we want to expand our base, but we can't because the nests are too powerful? And we just can't expand because the nests can't be cleared out. So that's kind of why. Let's see what this continent looks like out here. It's kind of a big water section right there, but it's not really that big, so maybe we can go around it. So that's why we're walling. It's because if we don't do it now, we're not going to be able to do it, and we're going to get stuck. We're going to be slaves to the biters, and then we die. I even have the biter evolution at about, ooh, another nest right there, at about a fourth of what it would be, and I think that's kind of important because of how slow in a good way, but how slow the Bobs and Angels and AI industries are. So if you use the normal biter evolution, you just get outpaced very quickly. Alright, this is a pretty good choke point. That's a fairly big coal patch too. But that's huge, 3.4 million compared to 1.5. I don't know if it's worth moving the wall forward just to claim that, but it might be, considering that the rest of this is pretty narrow too. And then the continent kind of expands, it looks like. Going out a little bit to see if there's any resources worth claiming. It doesn't look like it. And since coal is fairly low priority... Oh, man. Part of me wants to be efficient with the walls, and the other part thinks it'd be really foolish to put a wall right here and not claim this, especially when it's not contested by any biters, so... Okay. Let's claim it. And you never want to put the wall right here because we need room for the miners and the train station and all of that. So how about right here? So about 1, 2, and let's say 3. So 3-1. Let's put wall. Do we have any other 3s so we can use that calculation? Doesn't look like it, but it's probably gonna be a 2. But let's calculate. So 210 times 3 plus 450 times 1.43 is 1544, so that's 2. /2. Okay. Onwards. What are we, like, almost-ish? Halfway? We got 4 wall sections planned. That's not terrible. Where are we going now? Gotta find out if this continent goes anywhere, because if not, it looks like we've got a nice natural wall here, and then we could worry about what's down there. So let's see. We're probably not going to mine all of this stuff, because we're going to have base in the way. Lots of machines sitting on all this stuff. We don't necessarily have to mine every single thing we find. Just the big patches is kind of what we're looking for here. But the ocean and sapphire patch, it's kind of hard to see on the map. That's actually kind of big. 1.7 million. That's way bigger than what we have there. That's probably our biggest sapphire patch so far. That's worthy of keeping. Of course, there's no reason why we wouldn't, because we already have a natural wall here. Whoa. It's interesting how hitting the ocean doesn't damage your vehicle, but hitting a rock does. Alright. And, oh, does this go somewhere? Does this go somewhere? Nope. Just barely, but it's got natural gas. That's another thing we use, natural gas and stuff. But I'm not terribly concerned about that because actually the amount of space it takes to mine gas and oil is very small compared to mining ore. So we could probably sneak those in, and we could use pipes to just move the resources around. I mean, you could use belts too for ore, but it's surprisingly easy to sneak pipes around and get your gas mining in just about anywhere. So I'm not really concerned. Of course, there's no reason not to keep an eye out for big gas and oil patches, but it's not really on my priority list here. I'm mainly looking for ores, and even coal isn't particularly that important. It's the 6 primary principal ores that I'm looking for right now. So it looks like all of this is good, although there is that section at the bottom of the map that, knowing my luck, actually connects somewhere. So let's make sure that that does not go anywhere. Okay. That would be a terrible mistake. Imagine biters keep coming in, attacking, and we think, oh, must have just forgot some that just, you know, when we destroyed all the biter nests, we just forgot a few biters, and they just keep coming in and like, how many are there? And then we eventually find that. That would be super frustrating. So this is a super convenient wall location, but there's no reason to wall it because it's kind of part of our base already. So the walling's going to happen down here somewhere. Man, that is a lot of trees. I'm not sure there's some biters. They're kind of wandering around. Whenever you see wandering biters, it means they're ready to populate, make more bases. Trying to avoid the forest, but there's just biters all over the place. There's a base over there. Since there's no convenient place to wall here, I'm not really incentivized to do so. Does that go anywhere? It does not. Some oil? 2 million, that's pretty good. It's worth keeping. Of course, there's no reason not to. Some bobmodium. Looks like a decent wall section right here. None of those patches are particularly big. Alright, let's move a little further, as usual. Man, the trees. Just make sure we're not giving up on anything real juicy just on the other side of the wall. Yeah, I'm not seeing much out here. So, man. Feels bad mowing all these trees down. Alright, and some repairs. So, that's probably one section. Really. No, it's gonna be, well, 1 point something. Basically one. We could probably use that water to our advantage, or we can just fill it in. Let's just play it safe and say 2. So, wall. 2, 1. It's gonna be another 1. Have we done a 2 before? We had to have. Every other number but 2. Okay. Let's calculate a 2. 210 times 2 plus 450 times 1.43 is 1244, and that is slightly too much for one panel, so that is 2. Boom. Okay. That looks like a wall section right there, but since we're already claiming a wall up there, we kind of want to create a square base. So you see how that one's a little high, but you kind of see how we've got a square-ish going here. So that implies that we want to put a wall here, unless that's a natural wall with an ocean, and then like a wall there and a wall there, just to have a nice square. So that's kind of where it looks like things are going. But we won't know until we check. Whoa, biters. Ugh. Look at all these trees. The poor trees. And also the truck. Is that a big coal patch? No, we already checked that, I think. Good thing it doesn't seem like the biters react to wanton destruction of trees via vehicle. It's only when you chop them down do they seem to care. I guess if they go missing, then they're upset, but if they just see a tree laying on the ground, then it's fine. Even though they go missing in the game. So that's pretty convenient, but we've got something down there. Let's keep going. Let's find out how big of a patch that is and if it's worthy. And also just the shape of the continent. Whoa, is that gibbelite? Yep, that's a lot of gibbelite. Whoa, look at that. What do we got? Ooh, 4.1 million, and not really that much gibbelite. Surprisingly. We still haven't found a big gibbelite patch, though. Strangely enough. I'm not seeing it. So we're on the lookout for that. That might be the biggest one we can find. That is a lot of stereotype. Whew. Can we keep that? Let's see, that continent seems to get bigger and keep going. Down there. Moving on fuel. Burning through it. So now we're at a choice here. Do a small wall here, or do a big wall and get our biggest stereotype patch by far. That's a lot of stereotype. And actually, so much, or so far anyway, it seems like the biggest gibbelite patch as well. Haven't kind of scanned in there, but it's probably worth keeping. It's kind of annoying having that small choke point in there, but we can deal with that. That would be sad to know that was on the other side of the gate and we didn't do anything about it. So, whoa. And suddenly this continent got a lot smaller. Which made me very happy. Okay, so there's a biter nest right there. Ooh, it dead ends. Wow. Oh, those guys are stuck by themselves. Okay, okay. That's good. Maybe it doesn't have to be a huge continent, or a huge wall then. So we have a natural wall. It's interesting, we can use this lake as a bit of a wall. So we need... We're just going to call that one wall section. And we're going to count these two as the same wall. There's no reason to have two separate solar panel systems since they're so close together here. And I'll just put it right here. Is there any more convenient spot? Not really. It's basically gonna be 2 or thereabouts. So we're looking at 3. And I know we've done a 3 before, so 3, 1. Where is it? I know there's a 3. There we go. It's a 2. So we need 2 panels. Let's just start it off with wall. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe, hopefully, 2 walls? Maybe 3 walls? And then we will have gone full circle, and then we can actually produce all this stuff. The reason why I haven't really started producing everything is because a lot of it's actually going to be handcrafted. Like, there's no reason to produce 5 bajillion turrets when the only time we're going to need to do it en masse is basically right now. So it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of overkill to build an assembly line for one thing that we only need one time. Because the next time we need a bunch of turrets, we're going to expand our base further and we're going to have different technology, and they might not even be turrets anymore. They might be flamethrowers or energy or something like that. So, but I did start construction on the ammo because each wall section is going to need, what do we calculate, 253 ammos plus another 200 for the gate. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ammos. So, and since we only have 1 machine, I mean, we could build more. But since, at least right now, we only have 1 machine, it seems like a smart idea just to start it now, having it chug away, making the ammo, because we're going to need thousands of them. But other than that, I don't see need to pre-assemble the rest of this stuff. We're still looking for a big Jivalite patch. We really haven't found any. At 700K is the biggest we found, and that's kind of disappointing. I'd at least like it to be in the millions, so let's see what we can find out here. Alright, so not a whole lot. Oh, that's a natural section, so what's down here? Man, this section's empty. No biters, and no resources. It does look like it comes down at least to here, and that would kind of make a square. It's just, there's nothing here. Sadness. There's nothing. I'm kind of shocked. Like, where's all the resources? Or am I just not seeing it? It's nothing. Just this natural gas. Ugh. I kind of just want to see something, and then I will be appeased if I just find something. But there's nothing. Alright, there we go. Sapphire, of course, it's protected by biters. It always is. What's there? It's junk. It's junk. Alright, what about this unscanned section over here? Ooh, there we go. Sapphire. How much? 1 million. Means decent. That's probably the second best we found. But it's kind of a whole lot of nothing. I don't really see. It's not that much natural gas. It's not that much sapphire. I mean, it's decent, but we already got a bigger patch, and I don't really see the need to build 3 walls just for that stuff. So let's put a wall right there. Although I haven't scanned up here. I suppose that could be something interesting, but I have the feeling it's going to connect to the next continent the next wall is going to defend against, so we'll see. I'm just going to call it now that it's not going to be worth it, and it's snow. Snow sucks. I don't want to walk on snow and drive on snow. So let's just put the wall right here. And maybe fix the truck, because it's getting damaged. Walls. It's not really a great spot for it, but It's the best we got. So let's see. Something like right here. So positioning doesn't really matter. Like rotation, it's going to be the same. We'll position it properly when we build it. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 3-ish. We've already done a 3 there, so 3, 1, 2. Wall. 3, 1, 2. Boom. Okay, are we down to the last wall section? That would be fantastic. I'm not sure, you know, I edit this after recording, so I don't really know how long the episode's going to be, or if this could be one episode or multiple, but I think it's been about an hour of me driving around in real time, at least. Maybe an hour and a half. I haven't really checked. It feels like it's been forever. You can tell because I'm running out of fuel. It's going down noticeably anyway. So you know I've been out here a while. Luckily though, we haven't had to fight very many biters. I'm kind of happy with that. Big money, big money, big money. So what are we looking for? Givelite, I think. We have stereotype. We have our stereotype right there. We've got our sapphirite. And kind of jackpot up here. Cortinium. Rubite. Bobmonium. All our best patches, I think, are up there. And then the coal was up there. So we're just looking for a Givelite patch that's decently big, and my opinion of decent at this stage is more than... Whoa! Givelite. But there's a biter, or biter's nest. My opinion is more than 1 million, and... Oh, that's more than 1 million. 2 million. We need it. We're claiming it. And since that's in the way of our planning, we need to do some shooting. Wow, that's a pretty big one. Well, let's see if we can clear this out. Yeah, I think it's almost hopeless to go after all those guys running around. We just need to focus all our firepower on the nest. The less nests... Oh, no, the turrets are shooting at me. The less nests, the less dudes, so... That is our absolute focus for sure. And look how long it's taking just for one nest because of the quantity of fighters here. And this is kind of the problem with these big biter nests. This is why we need to put these walls here. It's just like we can't, we could barely keep up with the rate that they're spawning. I almost feel like we're not keeping up. It's like just barely have the attack power to take down this base. If it was any more spawners, we just wouldn't have been able to do anything. Man, those spitters are vicious. Almost died. Looking at those turrets, we might just have to run in there and YOLO it. I don't know if we can reach these other spawners. Everything's ammo. I'm kind of okay for now. Yeah, we're running in there. Whoa, who's attacking? Yeah, these the bigger spawners, spitter spawners, are annoying because they just make dudes. They keep spawning more and more dudes. Uh-oh, they're getting locked in here. They're just chewing through the armor. There we go, finally. Now we can clear this out. Kind of running low on push. Kind have a bad feeling there's this giant roaming band of biters. Because I don't feel like all the biters that have left have returned into the fight. Finally. I kind of want to check the truck to see if there's any more fish, because we're really low. Fish, 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 fish. I'll just throw the fish in there and see where they go. Oh, I have a spot for them. Good. We've got fuel. Let's keep going. We're going to need to clear these guys out, too, to figure out how many wall sections we're going to need. Oh, there's a bunch of turrets. Another reason why you want to avoid doing this is because it increases the biter evolution every time you kill a spawner. So, I'm just going to run in and do it. Done. Okay, well, let's pick up all these biter orbs. And then figure out what kind of wall needs to go here. Should probably drive up a little bit just to make sure, as nice as that Jivalite patch is, that there's nothing better just out of reach. I don't have to get every tiny little orb, plus they can be real hard to see sometimes. Just do our best to find them. When they're in the trees, they're really hard to see. Okay. Alright, let's put all those orbs away. Okay. What do we have out here? That patch is pretty close to a natural wall, but who knows? There might be something super valuable out here. Okay. So we actually have another natural wall. There's no point putting the wall way out here if there's nothing to protect. It would be acceptable to put it out here if it was convenient. Uh-oh. Nope, those are just roaming biters, probably leftovers. Yeah, you better run. Be careful not to get run over by the truck. See, we have a big coal patch out here. Looks like it. Is it worthy of attention? 2 million? Kind of. There's really no difference in placing the wall all the way out here. So, if we're going to place the wall out here, why not scout a little further just to see what's out of reach of the wall. See if there's anything super juicy. But I'm not really seeing... Let's see, how much gas is that? Alright, that's a decent amount of gas. It's probably our biggest gas patch so far. But, again, gas is kind of low on the priority list. Let's see where this continent goes. What do we have there? It's kind of a narrow continent. Jivalite, 810. Substantially smaller than our 2 million. Seems like we're just kinda wasting time driving out here. I didn't see anything too impressive. Oil, though. How much is that? 3.4 million. How does that compare? It's probably our biggest oil patch so far. But again, it's oil. It's not that difficult to find. And we've got lots of little patches of it all over the place. So... It makes the wall awkward, and we have to have 2 wall sections if we do that. Plus it's going to make... I was thinking we'd have a square, but we kind of have more of a circle going on here. Or maybe a oval. Like, we could put a wall here, but for space reclamation, why not just put it right here because it's convenient and it works. So, all right, let's repair. Okay, so like, no, let's just plan it from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, a little bit more than 5, but we can say 5, so that's not... That one's by far, I guess, because it turns. So we have a 5, 1, something. I don't think we have any 5s. Yeah, it's probably going to be 3, but you know how this goes. We calculate. 5 times 210 plus 450, which is 1500 times 1.43 is 2,145, which is oh so barely 2. There we go. We've got our plans. We've got all of our planned walls. And we know how many gates and how many power panels we're going to need. So let's run back to the base, calculate how much we need, and get the factory producing. We certainly can automate a lot of it, but like I alluded to before, we're also going to be manually producing a lot of it as well. That's all the time we have for today, so we'll have to get to that on the next episode. Thanks for watching.